Niggas rope, don't put your neck in it. Got my troops in off-white boots. Pulled up, I had my foot hanging out the coop. Off-white flannel looking like a lumberjack. With the 30 popper, you don't want none of that. D square, apron over D squares. Ronnie Feck, I need size 9 in every pair. Do a nigga filthy for the right price. Dom Perignon, the lobster and the fried rice. One brick, all I need is one brick.
Westside Gun did a steak, man. He did a steak. Mr. T meets Mr. Betrayal. Yo, the kids call me old timer. Why? Cause I'm shining. Brighter than Richard Hart's Black Diamond. Enigma. And tell the children put the guns down and stop. Put them down. They on demon time. You hear the police sirens? Fatherless kids and mothers who are childless. Some adults are ill-stricken and they're dying. You're not a man if you can't look them in the iris. HIV positive with the virus. The post-chain strain slide it up. Papyrus. And post-X will be more desirous. The cosmic diviner. The cosmic designer structured my environment.
Tripods out of Teslas. Scrape the pots for the extras. Bodies dropping on the regular. Run laps around these other rap niggas for fun. That fashion week with the M1. Y'all niggas bumps. Killing designer, serial killer. Niggas thought I was just rhyming iller. Then I pulled out the stick. Run your jewels, run the money. You try to run and hop the fence. Towards back up like Junior, nigga filthy rich. Wash my sins with Ace. Although you walk bored, this work is flake. I'ma be fly forever if the stove work. She sniffing so much Molly, that bitch knows her. I was on the path, getting money on the Ave. Fiends, Millie Rocket, seeing out my work glass. If shit slow up, I'ma look prettier in the mask. The cracks in the chip bag, the Mac by the trash. The 45 look big on his forehead. Shot him more times, left that nigga more dead. One brick, all I need is one brick.
What's going on, everybody? It's Crypto Wonder. I'm taking some time out right now to speak to you all about something that's racing through my mind. You know, this year, 2022, has been very interesting. Very, very interesting. I think it's important to think about good things that have happened this year, right? Reflect on the experiences that were memorable, that you know, that was able to bear some type of fruit in your life, and to also learn from the experiences that were challenging, right? More and more, as personally, as I have a chance to
meditate and contemplate on certain things, you know, it's the simple things that make all the difference, right? And the simplicity lies in the detail and the nuances of things. I mean, I don't know if you've noticed, but this year alone, there's been, I don't know, but I've suffered a tremendous amount of losses this year, and it's not about crypto. It's not about crypto. And I know many people have too, and I'm going to explain to you what I'm talking about. I mean, this year, so many people have just all of a sudden just passed away, you know, from like weird situations of health conditions, right? Like heart attacks out here, cardiac arrests. They've just passed away, like young and old, male, female, death doesn't discriminate. So it was just this year, I could reflect on like multiple people, from family members to friends to, people in other circles or associates, if you will, former co-workers or co-workers. And I know as far as crypto, this is a bear market and everything. Like we were in a bear market and, those of us who did this special thing called sacrifice are waiting for something to come out or a few things to come out and come to pass without having any expectations, magical expectations from the expectation of not having any expectations from the work or profit or from the work of others, whatever. You get to realize like what's really important in your life, like what's really important in your life. Crypto is just a tool. That's it. It's just a tool that could help you manage your financial life. Like manage it, You could afford to pay for things. That's all. But it'll never substitute for a loved one who's no longer here to experience life with you. You know? I mean, that's it doesn't get more real than that, right? It just doesn't get more real than that. What are we doing? A lot of people, crypto. It's funny. I was watching a sports game. Like, I think it was a basketball game. Not the whole thing, but I saw the arena where this basketball game was taking place. This was yesterday. I think the Miami Heat, NBA, Miami Heat was playing somebody. And it was a home game. And you're looking at the basketball court, the Miami Heat logo and different sponsors that are basically painted onto the basketball court itself, right? And wouldn't you know, one of the logos or sponsors or whatever have you, maybe even stakeholder, that's painted a couple times, affixed right on the on the floor of the basketball court, is FTX. And I was looking at that and I'm like, wow. FTX is still on that basketball court. They didn't cover it. They didn't remove it. They didn't paint over it. They didn't paint the Miami basketball in flames, the Miami Heat logo, or, just over the FTX symbol. Like, it's still there. Like, FTX is all good. As if FTX is all good. And, it's crazy because it made me think about how we're still so far ahead within this very small space, because it's a small space. It's a small space. Because you couldn't tell me a basketball court that a company like, for example, WorldCom from back in the days, or Enron from back in the days, or Lehman Brothers from back in the days, were to have been left on the court if they had sponsored any type of, ball club or organization, basketball, National Basketball Association, organization or franchise, being that they've all become insolvent and dissolved for various reasons. It would have removed those things immediately. Immediately, but you still see FTX, hard body, on the basketball court. It goes to show you, like, first of all, I don't think people really care because it's still there. Why would anybody care that $16 billion were lost overnight, connected, related, tied to FTX? It doesn't matter. This is a different day, different time. People, folks don't care. And as far as crypto, we're still ahead. We're basically light years ahead of the world, it feels like. It's just how it feels. I don't know. But again, like, just basically cherishing what's important in life is something you just can't forget. Because something always happens to remind you and remind us of what really requires our undivided attention more often than not. And sometimes I have to change up speed. I have to switch it up because crypto isn't everything. And I've treated it like very important in my life because of the changes it's brought in my life. And, the positive changes, the improvements that crypto has brought, I appreciate. But I also know this thing is tied to currency. This is money. This is, money is not everything as many people would love to believe or actually believe. Some people value money more than they value life or themselves or anything. And that is a extremely sad existence, sad way to think, sad way to be. For many people, in the Western world, this is a holiday season, holiday, where it's a time to basically spend with loved ones, with family, or those who don't have family, with people who they regard as family, that you care about, and enjoy the presence of family. There's no crypto that's personified as a human being, right, that you could spend time with to enjoy. There's no crypto that can just laugh with you or cry with you or advise you. This is all just like this digital computerized formula and systems and programs and algorithms and things connected with artificial intelligence and blah, blah, blah. Crypto doesn't have a heartbeat. Crypto doesn't have a brain. These things are intangible. And then we forget sometimes, and we place so much value and importance and worth onto those things rather than ourselves. And as life passes us by and throws us curveballs, we trip over our own feet, and then we realize, oh wow, look what I've been missing. What's really important? What is it do I have to evaluate in my life? What is it do I have to keep? What is it do I have to remove? Etc. 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 That's why, truth be told, as far as the cryptos that I talk about them, but it's like, life isn't all about this though, So I talk about what I talk about, and I try to inject some type of realism to this crypto business, these crypto affairs, right? And I want to thank Richard Hart for something that he's done this year that reminded me to stay grounded. Wearing expensive clothes and gaudy items and jewelry and all of that, it means absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of things. It means absolutely nothing. It's about fulfilling a certain need that materials can't really satisfy. Material goods can't really replace, again, the company of being around people who you love, people who you care about. Wearing Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Prada, all this nonsense does not replace the company of people you love. There's no amount of crypto in the world, there's no amount of money in the world that could replace the genuine aspect of being cared for and cared by, and you caring unto people who you love. Nothing. There's nothing that can replace that. In my line of work, I serve a population that's very, very challenging. Very, very challenging. And they remind me of how fortunate I am. Even when I talk about the losses I suffered, or the things I wish I had or could have, I look at the population I serve, I look at the clients I help, my clients, and I remember to be thankful for having a home, thankful for having the presence of mind, thankful for having sound health, right? Thankful for being able to care for others. So many things we take for granted. Crypto can't replace that. People say, I forgot what the term was, there's a term like when you get crypto, you could replace somebody you love because it's a bull market or whatever. I forgot how the cliche goes. It's jokes though, memes, but it's not real. It's not real at all. I know somebody who is very well off, but when you look at him, he's very unhappy. And this person touches a lot of bread legally, right? Like they touch a lot of bread, but is very unhappy and doing things to basically take away from the quality of their life, believe it or not, by engaging in unhealthy activities, right? It's crazy. I can't support things like that, right? So as far as crypto goes, it's just what it is. It's going to do what it does. No one person controls the entire market, as many people would fawn and love to believe. I've seen what the ego and pride and the desire to overpower and to control and to be dominant has done to many people in this crypto space. I see what it's done. I see what it's doing actively to many people in the crypto space. And it's really sad. It's telling and it's sad. But these are aspects of life that, unfold continuously. These are dilemmas that perhaps have no beginning or end. But again, the blessing comes when you can identify those dilemmas, those challenges, and how you react to them and how you respond to them is really what's important. It's really what's important. And so, I peruse through, the social media outlets that I like to watch the news as far as crypto and different things. It's the same thing, man. It's been the same thing that people just try to reinvent or explain differently. And no, it's the same thing, but sometimes it's different faces and sometimes it's different players. But it's about what may be important to you that you need to focus on that might have been neglected by your lack of attention, that you possibly need to change and concentrate on instead of ignoring, because you don't want certain events to occur and then for you to have regrets. It's hard because I lost a lot, and it's not something you could ever get used to. And it's crazy because the population I work with, these people, like, some of them are murderers. I'm not saying that to show. That's really what that's really what they are, and it's not a joke. And like the bottom of the barrel type of situation. And the only thing that keeps them from, like, some of them from, like, really going off to commit more heinous acts is medication to control them. There's some people, it seems like in life, and I never thought this to be true, but it seems like there's some people that just are beyond help, beyond. And they remind you of why you should always be thankful for everything you have. But the fact that these types of individuals exist are examples of what you never want to become. So take note, It's crazy. And I'm not law enforcement, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not, That's why I guess, and I've said this before on my live streams, not my pre-recorded, but my live streams. Like, you know, like PTSD. They said is a thing that I've experienced or whatever. I don't want to embrace the label or accept it, but they say everybody has a diagnosis out here. Everyone, everyone has their own weight to carry. I try to, in my quest to achieve whatever personal goals I have, I try to acknowledge the greatness that's in others, because I get inspired. I get inspired by dope content creators like the people who I've been watching this year a lot. You know, Muddy Mo, The Meta, Identity Block. I haven't seen Balliot Brand do his thing, but Balliot Brand too. I haven't seen him do his thing in a little bit, but you know, um, and content creators in other genre of entertainment, music related, you know, industry, rap, hip hop, whatever, movies. I pay attention to what I intake too, because you become what you ingest after a while. You definitely do. I see this guy also in the Hex community doing his thing too. Thoughts Child. Shout out to the ancient comedic uh, right symbolism that he displays with his work. And there's a lot of people, you know, unnamed, but you know, forgive me if I forgot, but it's all good. But I'm thankful for y'all, because as far as like, you've also helped offer great distraction to the content that, you know, that I attach to and watch for this year, because it's coming to a close. The year's coming to a close, people. You know, the year's coming to a close, and even at this point, I'm looking at certain situations I still see that's occurring. Things that I see happening in the crypto space, I see it just happening in other areas, and even on a macro level. And so that's why it's not really that unusual for markets to go through the cycles they go through. It's not easy, but it will turn around. And it's about how prepared you're going to be when it does turn around. You don't want to be caught talking about you coulda, shoulda, woulda, when you have the chance to do something now that could help you benefit tomorrow, you know? In any case, I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. Take care. Peace.